All right. How's it going, man? My name is Evan. Just want to let you know first off, looking at your video, I'm excited about you. I hope we get a chance to work with you in the future. And today, this is just going to be a pretty brief mechanical breakdown. Some things that I see in a first look video. If you do end up deciding to work with us, it would be obviously a much more in-depth analysis of you, a much more in-depth breakdown, not only on your mechanics themselves, but on your movement patterns, on your strength efficiencies, all that, because, that's obviously a much, there's a much bigger picture here than just your mechanics. But today, this is going to be focusing on that side of things. So 6'6" lefty, 77 to 82 is what I see. You got a high ceiling, dude. You haven't even tapped into it yet, but hopefully this video can give you some a decent sized picture about like where you stand, maybe why ball's not coming out of your hand as hard as it should be, how we would attack that, and some low hanging fruit that we would attack if you did end up working with us that I think could help you approach something that's much closer to your actual ceiling. All right, so first things first, let's open up your video. All right, got you right here. So first things first, let's just run through it. All right, so something I want to note first off is I love the windup. Like having a good rhythmic windup is something that you should never leave. Okay, I see a guy on second base right now. You should ditch it with a guy on second base. You should be out of the stretch with runners on base. So they don't take off on you too easy. But I love like a good rhythmic windup, a good rhythmic delivery. I think it's great. I have a really interesting comp for you as well. A guy whose video I think that you can study and try to emulate. But yeah, first things first, I think you got great rhythm. You're super athletic. I can already see that. But now let's dig into some of the stuff that I think is holding you back from where you should be. All right, so first things first, pretty good leg lift. I like how you drop into your back leg. Your loading position here is actually pretty good. I see you like activating your back glute, finding a pretty decent hinge. I like all this so far. The biggest thing I see for you, honestly, is once rotation actually begins. So what we want to see is I want to see your pelvis, so kind of that bowl that sits right above your hip line. I want to see that open up going into landing. You do that pretty well. So you see right here, this is what we would call front foot strike. The front of your belt is facing home plate pretty directly. That shows that you are rotating your pelvis into foot strike. You are not closed off. You are not completing rotation, I wouldn't say. But the biggest issue here is what we're looking for with this open pelvis is segmentation from your torso. So when that pelvis is facing forward this way, we want to see your shoulders facing ideally 90 degrees or more away from home plate. Right here, you can see that your torso is like 45 degrees open towards home plate. And that's something that is probably the biggest quote unquote mechanical thing that is holding you back. Velocity wise, you'll see this phrased like more often as like hip to shoulder separation. So this can come from a number of areas. This can come from a lack of mobility in your T-spine, a lack of strength through that range of your T-spine rotationally. There's a lot of possible issues here, and this is the kind of thing that would take a closer movement analysis to figure out what exactly is making it so that you can't get into that stretched position. So as I relate this to like a potential like future programming sense, by being able to look at a series of movements of you that you were to send in, and isolating different joint like areas of joint function, we would be able to see like exactly what movement patterns are holding you back from being able to get into like elite stretch positions. We would be able to see what's holding you back, and we'd be able to attack that more effectively. So yeah, like the advice here from me is not to like go and try to force that range, like, shoot your pelvis forward and fight to get your shoulders back. Like, that's not what I'm saying. Like, you should be just as athletic as you are right now, feel just as athletic as you are right now. and be able to get into like those extreme positions like naturally, smoothly, seamlessly. Um, all right, so let's keep going a little bit. So you'll see that being in this position actually makes it so that your arm does not have time to get into 180 degrees of external rotation. So having that stretch reflex, having that pelvis facing forward, torso facing ideally to first base or even further back, is going to allow for this elastic property to come into play between your pec, your scap, the upward rotation of your scap. There's going to be a bunch of different factors at play, but it gives you more time to actually get into 180 degrees of layback as you go into like the acceleration phase of releasing the ball. So you see right here, you're probably at like 130, 140 degrees. Again, this could be a number of things. This could be an issue with like upward rotation of your scap. This could just be some like rotator cuff restriction. This could be pec restriction. This could be a lot of different things. Again, so how to attack this is not to like, force yourself into like this hyper laid back position that you don't want to get into naturally. It's to do a movement screen, find out like the particular variables that are making it so that your body does not want to get into into these positions in an athletic way, attack them that way. All right, so let's keep going a little bit more. Everything else after that looks pretty good, honestly. Like, you're an athletic guy, you got a really high ceiling. I do not want to fuck around with like giving you cues necessarily, things to think about on the mound. Like, don't want you to go down into a rabbit hole. I just want you to go out there, be athletic, be smooth, just like your windup is. But I want to give you the actual like physical properties to be able to get into more athletic elite positions. All right, so now I want to show you that comp. So the guy I have you comped to is a guy named Thomas White. Thomas White is a guy who got drafted this year. He got drafted at the end of the first round. I've seen him in person up to 99. But this dude is built just like you, very similar windup, very similar glove arm, just very similar patterns all in all. But you'll see like the kind of extreme positions that a guy like this can get into. I'd like to preface, I don't know how much you weigh. This guy is 6'5", 210. As a guy who is tall as shit, 6'5", 6'5", 6'6", wherever you're at, it is realistic that you should be within like the 200 to 220 pound range, I would say. Yeah, but that's just like a body composition thing. We can talk about that more in depth if you want to get on the phone, shoot me a text, whatever. But yeah, let's look at White. So there's a couple of similarities that I see immediately. So first one is just like the rhythmic pattern of the delivery. It's something that is really similar to yours. The glove side, so you see right here at his glove's most like extended position, it is faced like it's in his shoulders internally rotated. The glove is facing home plate. This is something that is very similar to what you do. But the difference comes when you see right here, front foot strike, pelvis facing forward, his belt buckle facing forward, but you see where that torso is facing, it is directly towards first base. So now he has so much more time to let that arm unwind into 180 degrees of external rotation and to pull it through, accelerate through, and throw fucking 99. So this is my comp to you. For you, I would study this guy wholeheartedly. This is a great comp to have. You got a really, if I were to design a pitcher, like, and someone who, just as someone who like could go extremely far with their pitching career, like a fucking 6'6" lefty is a damn good start, dude. So don't let your potential go to waste, basically. And honestly, that's pretty much all I got for you right now. This is like, this is short. There's not that much going on here. But once you see like when we look at some of your movement patterns, some of your joint function, we look at your strength numbers, then we can get a much bigger picture about what are the specific things that are holding you back, and we can give you a program that attacks those deficiencies really quickly. And that is not something probably that you have had before. And maybe you're going to the weight room, maybe you're not. Maybe your throwing program is pretty good, maybe it's not. But I think you would be shocked to see how much better you can get and how quickly you can get better when you're actually training in an efficient way that attacks the issues that you have personally. So that's basically all I got for you today. Let me know if you have any questions. Text Tawa. I'll ask him to give you my phone number. If there's anything you want to talk about before getting into actual training, then let me know. But I'd like you to know that you're going to be in really good hands if you're with us, and that we'll give you adequate attention, and we'll be a text to phone call away. Look at any video you want, and we're gonna get you right, dude. We're gonna get you reaching that potential that you definitely can. And yeah, that's basically all I got for you. Thanks for reaching out to even get a breakdown in the first place. Yeah, dude. Reach out. Thanks a lot. See ya.